I just finished watching the anime, and if you guys remember in my second video, I said something along the lines of, I'll be making a ranking video of all these characters after the anime ends. So well, here's my ranking of the characters from Dreaming Realist. Let's start off first with the biggest annoyance in this series, Natsukawa. So look, you already know how much I hate this character, bro. So we're just gonna put her into a whole tier right now and get it over with. While I dislike her character, her writing is really great in the novels. So much so that if we were ranking characters based solely on their writing, she would have been up at the top of the list. But praise God we aren't doing that. Her anime counterpart was fairly better in enjoyability, and her cute moments were bearable this time, unlike those times I wanted to break my screen whenever she appeared in a light novel. Overall though, whole tier. Moving on, we have Kei. She was actually one of my favorites at the beginning of the novels because of how real she was with Natsukawa in the beginning arcs. And I took she had some sort of feelings for Wataru as well in the beginning. So I was like, best friend character? Man, I ship it. She was also the only other good female character and relationship Wataru had at the start of the series besides Shinomiya. And while I was enjoying her character, later in the story, she wants to start hoeing Wataru by basically gaslighting him into a relationship with Natsukawa. She'd be dead judging this kid just for not liking Natsukawa anymore and wanting to grow up, bro. Also, her writing is pretty okay, but it's not fully explored as of yet in the novels, so I don't have much to talk about in regards to that. I'm hoping for more exploration of her character and mindset in the future. So initially she was like a B to A tier character for me, but because of all that and her later hoeing, she's a C tier for me. Next we have Wataru's sister. She was annoying straight down. The only redeeming qualities she has are her rare displays of actual affection for her brother, but besides that, she's just annoying to read about and see, like in all truth. Her writing is in the top league of female characters in this series, especially her backstory and role within the school's history and politics. Her desire to keep Wataru out of all of that political drama, but also for Wataru to have a good high school life without any discrimination against him was a sight to behold in volume 6. I really enjoyed reading about her motives and seeing her actions play out. It's just when she's forcing the Natsukawa relationship onto Wataru or ignoring his feelings and actively treating him like a slave, I dislike her character. So originally I was gonna put her inside C tier, but because of her wonderful writing, I'm gonna bump her up into B. Moving on, we got the person that's Wataru's sister's gang for real, not for fake, Shinomiya. Shinomiya is a pretty good character, and I enjoyed her throughout my reading of this series. Her cute, flustered moments and tightness with the public moral community was great scenes to indulge in. Also, her interactions with Wataru are fun to read and see, especially how much he invests in and believes in him. She's one of the few characters that doesn't have a screw loose and actually cares about Wataru's feelings and doesn't deride Natsukawa for no reason. Her writing is good, but can definitely be more explored. I enjoyed her character, so I'll be putting her at B tier. If her writing was a bit more fleshed out, she could have been at A tier, to be honest. Next, we got Shinomiya's lackeys. To be honest, they haven't been explored enough for me to give any type of concrete opinion on them. I like this one. I forgot her name, so she'll be in D tier, but Yu, I really enjoyed her. Because to be honest, anyone who could encourage Wataru and give him a boost already gets a stamp of approval from me, so I'll be putting her in C tier. It's just, my problem is this. I wish that the author spent more time on her character and issues, giving us a more solid conclusion as to why her character just randomly changed. Overall though, D tier, and Yu, C tier. Next we have Bear Senpai and his girlfriend. Okay, to be honest, I don't have much to say about this one as well, but I did enjoy that little arc with Inose at the restaurant with Bear Senpai. Also too, with him just being chill and always just helping Wataru out, especially with the preparations in the middle school visit, I'd say in volume 3 or 4, he already put up in my list. And his girlfriend, I didn't really feel much for her in comparison, you know what I mean? So I'll put her at D and Bear Senpai at C. But inviting his girlfriend to that meeting wasn't OD though. Now we have the 4K group, or the K4 group, I don't know how you say it. These characters are funny but forgettable, to be honest. All I remember is Yuki Senpai, and I like this conversation with Wataru and how he basically wasn't saying all that stuff for Wataru's sake, but just because Wataru's sister was tight and he cares for Wataru's sister, or Kaide. While I don't like Kaide, seeing Yuki Senpai not being generic and you know what I mean, just saying, oh, I wanna help you, was a breath of fresh air. Also, I like the one that's on screen right now because of his honest conversation with Wataru as well. So I put Yuki and this guy at C tier and the other 3 at D tier. Next, we have the bookstore owner and his wife. They were good characters as well. His wife was kind of annoying with how she basically ignored Inosuke's feelings and personal issues / space. So she went to D tier, but the owner's fanboying on Inose brought him up to bro tier, bro. We tight, we locked in. Like, I respect it. Next, we have Sasaki-kun. I actually like Sasaki-kun's character, and seeing his growth from being lost and liking Natsukawa, which was never going to work out, and I praise God he got saved, to dating someone. I forgot her name. I think the class rep was her character. But still, it was a marvelous show of character progression for him, bro. I praise God he got saved. His relationship with Wataru was also funny to read. Even though Sasaki was a hoe for trying to force a rivalry with Wataru over Natsukawa of all people, he wasn't as annoying as every single other character in this series. So he's in the B tier for me. I like that the author also gave us a good dip into Sasaki-kun's mental state and how he truly felt in regards to his feelings with Natsukawa, the class rep, and himself. But Sasaki-kun's little sister was the real star of the show for me. I was already hyping up her entrance when I first read about his little sister being a crazy brocon. But when she finally appeared in the novels, it was everything I wanted and more. Her character is so hilarious, and her interactions with Wataru are just comedy. It's never a dull moment when she's on the page, and I really enjoyed reading about her. Her brocon qualities are a most definite sign of mental illness, but we'll be ignoring that for now. She's one of my favorite girls in this series, so she'll be getting an A tier from me. Since we're talking about Sasaki anyway, we might as well talk about one of my favorite characters in this series, Sasaki-san. The middle schooler college student. You do not know how much I loved reading this series when she's on the page. When I was enduring the hell of volumes 1 and 2, the freshness of Free with Sasaki's introduction brought life to my soul and made me want to keep reading. It was also the first volume where I didn't see Wataru being forced on Natsukawa for like 50 chapters straight. I enjoyed her character and I liked how the author handled the love talk between her and Wataru in volume 3. Also, her relationship with Inose was great to read. She was also the first character to take Wataru's breath away besides Natsukawa in the series. So she's already in the top 10 for me. Overall, she's a resounding A tier for me. Next, we got Yamaguchi. Bro, this kid was funny to read in the novels, but even more entertaining in the anime. I really liked how dumb he is and how playfully toxic his relationship with Wataru is. We don't see much of him later in the series, but he's still one of my favorites. So C tier for him. Now we on to Wataru's first love, the first heroine that got booted out of the story, Reina Aizawa. Now you might be wondering why she got her full name on this, because bro, like literally all the other characters, bro, you can figure them out, you see them all the time, but this girl just disappeared. Like from the first volume, she was out. Not even the first volume, but the first chapter, she was out. She got booted after she was done, bro. So I gotta put her full governor in here so I at least remember who she is. But nah, I really liked her character and wish that the author used her more in the story. Her gang for real, not for fake relationship with Wataru was amazing to see. And I would have loved to see more of them just chilling, talking about manga or fangirling over Natsukawa. Even though I hate Natsukawa, if I could see Aizawa back in the story, I'll deal with it. She was a great character that had a lot of potential but was never used again. So she got a C tier from me. Now we have the lonely blonde queen of this series, Marika. I am not saying her full name before I put a spell on my house. Marika was a character that kind of showed up out of nowhere and just bumped herself to the top of my list. In all truth. Like, first, she shows up just hating on Natsukawa in her first scene. Then she starts hating on Wataru's sister. And then she said she's gonna become the next student council president. And then vanishes for 7 volumes straight. I respect that. Bro, since her first scene, I was on her side, bro, waiting for her success. I was praying for her, bro. But then we get more into her backstory later on, and we see her true pain and character in volume 8. Bumping her even further up the list. Her writing is amazing, and I can't wait to see how the author goes on to fully flesh out her character. For being the queen that she is, I give her a queen tier. But the student council were some real hoes for that, no cap. They almost made that girl the leader herself on the planet. I'm editing my list. The student council just went down to hoe tier, bro. Now we have Irie-san. Irie is not annoying like her sister. And to be honest, I I sometimes wish that she wasn't Natsukawa's little sister so that it won't hurt her when Natsukawa and Wataru don't get together. Airi is a ball of light that actually acts like a typical kid her age. She isn't annoying, it doesn't force the Natsukawa riding narrative every character is smoking on and addicted to. I enjoyed her, and seeing her more in the anime was enjoyable as well. Her character saved Natsukawa from going from the whole tier to leaving this list in its entirety and making me stop the series, to be honest. She's adorable and should be protected from Natsukawa at all costs. A tier for Airi-chan. Natsukawa's mom was, well, the comments speak for themselves. MILF tier for her, if only she didn't birth Natsukawa though. Damn it. Next we have Wataru. I enjoyed his character, but I just wish that he stood up for himself and valued himself more. He is one of the few characters written with true development, and the exploration of his mind and psyche was wonderful to read. His struggles with love and himself are marvelous. I can't wait to see how his character evolves throughout the next installments of this series. I just pray that the author actually progresses his character in the next volume. I don't have too much to say since I already spoke about him a lot in my previous video, so with that in mind, I give him an A tier. The Gairu doesn't have any images, so I can't really put her up here, but in all truth, she's an A tier for me. Borderline S tier character for me in this series. Just popping in and absolutely wrecking that Natsukawa narrative drugs each character was doping on in this series and stating the facts was amazing to read. And her helping and treating Wataru was great as well. All she needs is more development, and she'll be in a good space in the S tier for me. Finally, we have my absolute favorite character in the entirety of this novel and series, Ichinose. I love Ichinose. Hands down the best girl and best character in this series, bro. Her drive to become independent, her work ethic, her positive impact on Wataru, and adorable interactions with him, her growth and development as a character were all... Wait, let me find a good word on Testoris for a second. Prodigious. Prodigious? But basically, I love Ichinose, bro. The author did a wonderful job writing her, and because of that, I gave Ichinose a S tier. Every time I see her on the page, I already know I'm gonna have a good time. Now, before I go, I just wanted to say some comments I had on the anime. Now, the thing is, when I finished the anime, I realized something. While Natsukawa is irritating, she isn't as problematic as she could have been like her light novel counterpart. The anime fixed a key problem that I was talking about when recommending the series in my previous video. The conflict between the progression of Natsukawa's and Wataru's relationship and Wataru's character progression. In the anime, Natsukawa is actually a positive key developmental character that changes Wataru into becoming a better person. Every time Wataru has a problem or is lost in the anime, Natsukawa's presence or advice helps him grow and makes the right choices. Also, the anime doesn't go heavy into Wataru's pain like the light novels, thus giving us the story of two lovers who, despite a heavy misunderstanding, will benefit from getting together. The OST was pretty okay. I enjoyed it, but not like crazy. I felt like it was perfect for the anime with its energetic tones, but I would have preferred it had a more calm and melodic atmosphere like Snafu's OST for when using it to read the light novels. But Rohei Sataka did his thing with this, so I really have no complaints. The animation wasn't the greatest in the world, but it was still okay. Not absolutely horrendous. While I wish the anime was more reflective of the source material, I enjoyed seeing this different take on the story and how it actually fixed one of the key problems plaguing the series in regards to the author's direction of the series. Overall, it was a good ride. Not the greatest, but also not the worst in the world. A good 5 out of 10 for me. That's pretty much all I wanted to say, so peace.
Open these eyes, have their